What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Game Day with Trey. Of course, this is your homeboy Trey, and today we're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers visiting the Orlando Magic in round one of the Eastern Conference NBA playoffs, game number 3. And let's just see what's going on, right? So this game's supposed to go down at 7 p.m. East Coast time. Over under opened up at 200.5. Orlando minus 1.5. The line has since moved to over under 201 minus 2.5. And if you look some places, it's just straight 200. So I mean, take it what it is. Try to find the best spot. But anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and let's get into this, man. So the Cleveland Cavaliers have a chance to take a commanding 3-0 series lead. But the Orlando Magic need a win here to stay in this series and cut this deficit 1-2. All right, now, when you're talking about these two teams in the injury report, Cavs got the same dudes injured. Ty Jerome, Dean Wade, and Craig Porter Jr. As far as the Magic's concerned, they still are worried about Jalen Suggs, who suffered that knee injury in Game 2, and then he also still had the ankle, too, on the same leg. All right, but surprisingly, he is listed as probable for Game 3, so expect to see him out there. He did used to be a football player, so I expect that young man to be out there and play some ball. Anyway, so in the last meeting the other day, the score was 86 Orlando, 96 Cleveland, man. All right, the Cavs bid to push the Magic to the brink of elimination on this Thursday night when they play in Game 3 of this Eastern Conference first round series in Orlando, Florida. All right, of course, Donovan Mitchell in that last game, he put up 30 points. And then in the previous game, in Game 1, he did put up 20. In Game 2, he put up 23. So in the first game, he put up 30. And then the last game, he put up 23. All right. Now, I say that for a reason, you guys, so please pay attention. All right. Mitchell said this in the post game. He said, I think there's a level that we can continue to improve at. It's great that we got the win and we're up 2-0, but we're not looking to be 2-0. We're looking to be perfect. There's no such thing as perfection, but continuously want to chase it. I told you about the Jared Allen in the last one. I told you he would get the double-double, as he did. I'm telling you right now, he's most likely going to get a double-double in this game as well. So if you want to get that in now, please go ahead. But he recorded his 5th career playoff double-double on second in the series on Monday after posting 16 points with 20 rebounds. So like I said, he's going to be a beast out here in this series. The way these two teams match up, especially down low, and the fact that they both have the same size, it just says a lot for where the NBA is headed as far as the athleticism and the aspect that these players can play on offense and defense and really not break a sweat with the numbers that they're putting up. Now, yeah, is it more powder puff? Yeah, it is. But in this series, nah, it ain't. These two teams are dogs. They play straight D, man. And I say that to say this, right? In the last 10 times these two teams are matched up, Cleveland's got it 8-2 straight up. 7-2-1 against the spread, and 4 to the over, 6 to the under. In the last 10 times these teams matched up, Cleveland won the last 2, like y'all already know, in the series. As far as on the season, they did match up about 4 times, and it was split down the middle. But before that, Cleveland was on a 5-game win streak against the Orlando Magic. All right, when it comes to the covers, of course they're on that 2-cover win streak. But prior to that, this season, it was 2 to Orlando, 1 to Cleveland. 2 to Cleveland, 2 to Orlando. So it was tied up, knotted up, whatever. They each won and covered at each other's court. So there's really no advantage there. And when you're looking over-under this season, it went under the last 2 games, under 206.5 and under 205. And it also went over this season 3 times and under once. So we know this is playoff basketball, and we know that when you got playoff basketball, you tend to see a little bit tighter scores. Hence, why you got the 96 to 86. And when I say tighter scores, I'm saying lower scores. People come out here and play defense like it's the 90s right now, and the refs are letting it go, and you gotta love that. If you don't love that, you're not a basketball fan. All right. Maybe it's because I'm 80s baby, whatever. But at the end of the day, I believe defense, man. I would rather see players go out there and at least look like they're giving it their all, you know. But that's maybe because I'm putting my money on it. Maybe it's because I love the game. I loved it since I was a kid. But so it gets you some more numbers. It's Cleveland right now in their last 3 games, they 2-1 straight up, 2-1 against the spread. Whereas Orlando in their last 3 games, they are 1-2, as we already know, and 1-2 against the spread. Okay, we know that in the last game, the hole for the Orlando Magic kind of started right here. Started in the first quarter. The score was 30-18. Magic only put up 18 points in the first quarter last game. Then they put up 26 in the second, which was only 2 points less than what Cleveland put up. But then the rest of the game, they put up 21 and 21. So at the end of the day, we all know that the Magic are one of the best teams in the fourth quarter, especially when you're looking defensive-wise. Okay, so let's just take a quick look. Scoring, defense for Orlando. First quarter, they're 11th in the NBA versus Cleveland's number 8 overall offense. Now, it's only like a 2-point difference in that, but that 2 points difference means a lot. That means it's going to be more like a 1-point advantage for Cleveland at that point, if you just look at it from that aspect. But if you flip it, okay, Orlando is one of the worst offensive teams in the first quarter in the NBA. They are ranked 28th. They're like the bottom of the barrel right there. They only score 26.4 points per game in the first quarter. Whereas Cleveland, they're middle of the pack on their defense. They give up about 28.2, so that means they might give up 27. So say they give up 27, and then say Orlando comes out and they give up what they average, which is a 27.6. When really Cleveland's got a better offense than that, and they score 29.7. Cleveland's already coming out with a lead and trying to really close this team out. A lot of the things that come into the play of this series is more or less based on the fact that you're dealing with one team that is playoff experience deficient, and another team that has a plethora of playoff experience. Where you talking about Donovan Mitchell or a few other players on that team. But I digress. Let's go ahead and keep going, man. So when you look at these two defenses, right? So one key thing to look at and to understand is that Orlando in the first quarter is 11th in the NBA. First and the second quarter, they're number 1 in the NBA. Third quarter, number 8, and fourth quarter, number 1 in the NBA. But when you look at the inverse and you look at Cleveland, they're number 14 in the first quarter. Okay, which isn't going to hurt them going against Orlando's offense. But in the second quarter, they're tied with Orlando at number 1. Third quarter, they're number 7. Fourth quarter, they're number 8. All right, the point differentials are so minuscule, it makes you understand why this spread looks like it looks. Now, full disclosure, we all understand what happened with Cleveland last game and how Cleveland went out there and dogged them, and we did have them, man. I'm pretty sure you saw it already on the side, or maybe I'm playing it right now. Whatever. You saw that. But that's because Orlando struggles against guards, dog. They really just struggle. They can't cover. And when there's an elite guard, for some reason, they just don't got it. Like, at all. But seeing as how they struggle like they struggle, that's why their interior defense has to be the way that it is. Okay? When you look at these two teams, a lot of the times, Cleveland likes to get their points, or their 2-point percentage anyway. It's 8th in the NBA. All right? But Orlando's opposing 2-point percentage is 16th. So that gives a lot of leeway and opportunity for Cleveland to get down low. But then when you look at how they play against the 3, Orlando is 10th in the NBA in opposing three-point percentage versus Cleveland's three-point percentage being at 16th in the NBA. Now, when you look in the inverse and you look at how Orlando likes to score, okay, because we all know they like to get their money within the paint. Okay, well, seeing as how they do like to get that money within the paint, they still don't rank anywhere above the top half in the league besides free throws and field goal attempts. Outside of that, they are like 15th, 30th, 28th. They are not doing what they need to do. And when you're looking at this Cleveland defense, man, you're understanding what they come out and do. They come out and they play defense. And yeah, they slipped off for a little bit during the season, but at the end of the day, they did that because of the fact they were faced with a lot of injuries. Same thing with the Magic. The Magic were faced off with a lot of injuries too. But in the last game, Paulo Banchero led the team with 21 points, but he shot 9 for 20. So you really don't know what he's going to do outside of the fact that he's definitely finna try to show out in this game because of what happened last game. Whereas Donovan Mitchell, he digressed down to the 23 points that we would expect him to be scoring, and he shot 9 for 22, just like we would expect. So when you look rebounds, Wagner had 7 rebounds overall, but Jared Allen had that 20 rebounds just like I was telling you about, man. And that's why he's live for the double-double once again tonight. All right? I'm definitely about to put that in as soon as I finish with this one. Okay? And I don't know. I might single game parlay it like I did the other night. And I think that's what you guys have seen as earlier and all that. But the most key stat, the most key information for this game is the fact that when you look at these two teams on the season, as a home team, Orlando is 29-11, and Cleveland is 22-19. Now that's like, there's not big of a difference there, right? But then when you look as an away underdog, straight up, Cleveland is only 8-13, and Orlando as a home favorite is 21-4 straight up. So moneyline Orlando could be looking good right now, man. It's definitely a strong lean on that one. And then when you're looking against the spread, okay, against the spread, Orlando, and I'm only saying this because I've been cashing with them all year. I've been cashing with them for the last 2 or 3 years, and I understand the situations that you kind of want to look towards them. Even though they do struggle with that guard play, and even though it still is a gamble and a bet like everything is, so please do it responsibly. You know, I can only tell you what I'm doing, but I give you the information so that you can make an educated decision with this information. All right. Now, when you, against the spread, as an away underdog, you got Cleveland coming in here at 9-10-1 versus Orlando as a home favorite at 19-6. When you gotta trust the books and you gotta trust what the casinos are doing and where they're putting the spread, you gotta understand they know what they're doing, man. These people make money. That's what they're doing. So if you see these types of numbers, you have to pay attention to it. That's all I'm saying. So when you go over under, let's see what happens. As a home team, Orlando is 15 to the over and 25 to the under, whereas Cleveland is 17 to the over and 24 to the under. Which way is it leaning, guys? Then we look as an away underdog. As an away underdog, Cleveland, only 9 times have they gone over, and they've gone under 12 times in this season. Whereas as a home favorite, Orlando, 10 times over and 15 times to the under, y'all. I can only give it to you like I give it to you. All right? If you read what I'm reading in the numbers and you see, then you'll definitely understand why my leans are the way they are in this game. All right? So let's go ahead and let's get to these final couple things, and then we'll get up out of here. So just so y'all know, in the last 3 games, Cleveland scored 101 points per game, gave up 96.3, whereas Orlando scored 94 points per game and gave up 93.7 points per game. Now, regardless of the fact that Cleveland's been gutting them, somehow, some way, Orlando still got a plus margin on their last 3 games. And then on top of that, look at the line. Why is Cleveland only getting 2 to 2.5 right now on the spread? Let's look over here. Did it change? No, it's still 2 to 2.5. Why? Please try to understand that. If you can understand that, then you can understand the value in this game. All right. Now, when we're looking at these last few facts that I love to give you guys, because I love to let you guys understand where these teams truly sit at right now, man. Okay. You're looking at an Orlando Magic team, or no, I'll start off with Cleveland. You're looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers team that have won each of the last 10 playoff games against Southeastern Division opponents. The Cavs have failed to cover the spread in each of their last 6 road games following a win, and each of the Cavs' last 9 playoff games have gone under the total points line. Whereas when you talk about Orlando, they've lost each of their last 10 Eastern Conference Finals first road games following a loss. Okay? Or first round, I'm sorry. The Magic have also covered the spread in each of their last 10 games as home favorites against East Conference opponents. And then when you're talking about the Magic, they've also, in each of their last 9 games as favorites against the Cavaliers, gone under the total points line. So, it's pretty much understood. I already told you I'm taking the Magic today. I already took them. Money line. I am going to probably take them again in a single game parlay. If I do that, it would be the Magic and the under. I will play with the number to do that or to execute that. Only way I could play the Cavs today is if I bought a couple points. As I said, play with the number a little bit. You know, you do. You want to set a threshold, and you want to look at these things like stocks, like I told you before, and percentages is what you're looking at. You want half of the money back that you're betting at minimum. But sometimes you can settle for 35% if you know you're going to make multiple bets throughout the day. One picks are always the better way to go, but, you know, parlays are fun too. No lie. But, man, look, I gave you what I gave you. I gave you what I like. If you want to purchase some points, get the Cavs. If you want to profit off the money line and look at the situations and all the analytics I just gave you, then follow me on the Magic. But either way, man, it's your decision. All I can do is give you the information. Y'all have a blessed day. Stay safe. Thanks for watching. I'm going to holler at y'all later, and I'm going to put the play in the comments of everything that I've basically tried to delineate to you guys, man. Y'all be easy, man. Peace.